There once was a little girl named Tara, but everyone called her Thea for short. Thea wasn't really born nor made. Thea just kind of happened. Like everything around her, it all just kind of came to be. Like a big bang. Thea had 9 different siblings, all of which she was around very often. And their mother was warm and bright, and she kept Thea and all her siblings warm during the year. Thea started to grow and change, and she discovered that as she moved around, parts of her being became dark and cold, and others warm and bright. Thea soon realized this was one of the things that made her special. Thea wasn't like her other siblings. She was green. She had just the right amount of every element, and most of all, Thea had the gift of life. Thea started to flourish from the inside out. She started growing the greenest plants and creating the most beautiful ecosystems within herself. Thea created a variety of different creatures. She named them tigers and bears and monkeys and giraffes and fish and birds. Oh, lots of different birds. Cows and horses and zebras and lions and elephants, lizards, turtles, owls, wolves. Thea created a stunning world inside herself. Her little creatures, which she called them animals, they lived graciously together in an utopia, and their utopia was Thea. After many millions of years, Thea decided to create different little creatures. These little creatures were less hairy than bears but smarter than monkeys. They walked on 2 legs and acted a bit funny. Thea liked to shorten most of her creatures' names, just like how her mother shortened hers and all of her siblings' names. Thea's new little creatures were creative and unpredictable. They started using parts of Thea's environment to build their own little cubes that they slept in and lived in. These little humans were so smart that they started multiplying fast and making more and more cubes. By the time Thea realized, there were millions of humans and trillions of cubes all around her, and for a moment, Thea was proud. Proud of her little creatures for creating their own environments within her, just like she did herself. But then, Thea started to feel pain. Her own little humans started to cut her own trees, kill her own other animals, and be careless with Thea. Thea became numb. Thea knew there would likely be complications with making a smarter little creature, but she also knew that they were smart enough to realize what they were doing, so Thea had hopes that they were going to fix it themselves. After a while of suffering and dealing with the physical and emotional pain, Thea realized that they weren't going to fix it. It got so bad that Thea started to send them signals and warnings through herself. Thea then created tornadoes and hurricanes and floods, droughts, storms, earthquakes, but nothing seemed to send them the right message. Thea became warm, but not warm like her mother was warm. Thea was on fire. Thea's woods were on fire. Thea's volcanoes erupted lava. Thea's core was burning hot from within. Thea was mad. The more she tried to communicate, the more damage her own little humans made to her body. Thea's clean air became polluted and dark and cloudy. Thea's clean water rivers became dirty and filled with little synthetic floating items, which were unknown to her. Thea had not made them, and in fact, Thea had not made a lot of the things that these little humans were using to hurt her. Thea's beloved animals started to feel her pain as well. Her water babies were dying and their homes were becoming foggy and filthy. Her colder climate babies were sweating and their environment started to melt. Some of her animals even stopped reproducing, and soon they became only a fond memory of the past. Thea was devastated. Thea felt helpless. Thea felt betrayed. It was too late. Thea had realized it, but she wasn't sure if the humans had. But Thea's days were being counted. Thea became a time-sensitive ticking bomb of fire. Thea was dying. As a matter of fact, many parts of Thea were already dead. There was, and there still is, time to save Thea. But humans will not. There still is time to save Thea. But humans will have to stop and start it now. all together, all the damage we have done can be reversed if we act quickly enough. If all of us who contributed to killing Thea, our Mother Earth, can also contribute to saving Thea, then Thea will be able to live for millions and billions and trillions or more years alongside her uninhabited siblings. Because we would not want to be responsible for killing a child before their own parent burns their last flames too. Once, if Thea happens to pass, none of her siblings would be just the same amount of perfect that Thea was. Thea was the golden child, the green planet, the planet of life. And she so kindly housed us all, it would be so impolite to kill her own temple. So I hope that through telling Thea's story, you and I and the world of humans around Thea wake up and realize and actively work and try to reverse all of the damage we've done to her. Because together, we can all save Thea.